Hello and welcome, everyone. This is a webinar called What to Do If You're Secretly Freaking Out About Getting Married. And I'm Gina. I'm a relationship anxiety coach. And if you're here because you're feeling this way, just know you are in the right place and you are not alone. All right. I am so happy that you decided to join me today because I am going to be digging deep and helping you realize why you might be feeling this way, and then also giving you some ways on how to help. All right. So I value your time. I'm going to try to go as quickly as possible, but I do have a ton of information that I want to share with you. So sit back and relax, and let's just jump into it. All right. So, like I said, I'm Gina. I'm a relationship anxiety coach. I live with my husband, Joe, here in Nashville, Tennessee, with our puppy, Parmesan. There she is. She is just the cutest thing ever. And y'all, we were high school sweethearts. Okay. So, we started dating when we were like 16 years old. We did all the milestones together. That's our prom picture. We ended up going to different colleges for school, but we made it work. And then about 8 years ago, we got engaged. And y'all, on the outside, everything looked perfect, right? We were high school sweethearts. We were voted cutest couple. Everyone was rooting for us. So on the outside, everything seemed like it was going perfect. But on the inside, I was freaking out. So thoughts were going through my head like, is he the one? Am I making the right decision? What if I'm making a mistake? Am I ready for this? Do I really love him? And should I call off my wedding? Plus, so many more. Cue the anxiety, right? And y'all, I've been an anxious person in the past, so I'm familiar with anxiety, but this was like nothing else. It was just all consuming. And if you're feeling this way and also feeling those thoughts, you know how I felt. So let's take a little bit of a break right here because I want to get into what even is relationship anxiety. And I call it engagement anxiety too. So I use those two terms interchangeably. This is a relatively new thing. So not a lot of people are talking about it. So here's a definition, all right? It's a little tricky to define, but it's basically refers to feelings of worry, insecurity, and doubt that can pop up in a relationship, even if everything is going relatively well. It often includes intrusive thoughts and constantly worrying if you're making a mistake and doubting the success of your relationship. Does that sound familiar to you? It definitely, was spot on for me, but I didn't even know what this was. I had no idea this even existed. And then to go even further, there's something called relationship OCD, which, if you're familiar with OCD or obsessive compulsive disorder, this is a new form of it as well. So, relationship OCD, sometimes called ROCD, is a form of obsessive compulsive disorder in which people experience intrusive thoughts and compulsive behaviors related to the relationship with their romantic partner. The condition can create repetitive thoughts that center on doubts or fears about the relationship. Now, I'm not here to diagnose you. I'm just saying these are things that could play into how you've been feeling. Okay. So, going back to me and my engagement, the intrusive thoughts did not let up. For months, I was planning our wedding, but internally, I was questioning everything, and I felt so guilty. I felt so much shame. And if you are in the same shoes, you understand how I felt. I tried to talk to my friends and family, but the worst part was no one understood what I was going through, and they told me if I had any doubts at all, then maybe I shouldn't be getting married. You know, you know if you know. The just like awful feeling of feeling so confused and so alone in your feelings, especially when no one else could understand. I mean, I knew I loved him. There were no red flags in our relationship. There was no abuse. There was no reason why it couldn't work out. It was just me completely questioning and overanalyzing everything in my mind. So, why was I feeling so anxious? I was really, really confused. We had a great relationship. I had no doubts until we got engaged and started planning a wedding. So what did I do? I needed to get to the bottom of it. So I turned inward, and what I found, y'all, was shocking. Okay, y'all ready for this? So my anxiety had nothing to do with my partner. And as much as I looked at him and said, oh my goodness, how can I marry someone with such bushy eyebrows, or someone who, ate soup the way you did, it really had nothing to do with him at all, and everything to do with myself. You see, my anxiety was stemming from deeper fears that were manifesting as anxiety about getting married. All right, read that again. My anxiety was stemming from deeper fears that were manifesting as anxiety about getting married. Well, I know. Let's just take a breather. I know I've just been throwing information at you. So once I realized that that was the case, I got to work, and that's when everything changed. Because it wasn't about my partner, it wasn't about him, it was something more internalized in myself that needed to be healed in order for me to feel ready for this next life transition. So, what did I do? Well, I did the inner work to heal the root cause of my anxiety. And I have a picture of a tree here because I want to pause for a second. I am not the type of person that likes band-aid solutions. I am not the type of person where it's okay, let's just this is a symptom, let's throw a band-aid on it, it'll help you. Even when it comes to health things, I'm always let's get to the root cause, okay? I'm gonna get all the way down there in the roots and heal it from there, because that is how I'm going to heal fully, okay? It's not a band-aid solution. So, first step is identifying your root cause of what's actually causing your anxiety. And you may be surprised because most of the time you're how is this even related? But it is. It's kind of crazy. So I have some examples of root causes here if you're unsure what a root cause could be. So, common example of root causes. Number one, the fear of growing up. Now, you might be 50 years old, but something in our minds clicks about when you get married. It's oh, now you're officially an adult, right? It's it doesn't matter how old you are. When you get married, it's oh no, that's an adult thing to do. And if you're someone who struggles with growing up, it could be really triggering. You could have a lack of self-trust. And this is the one that I probably see most often. It's very common. It was also one of my root causes, which is basically when you're unable to make confident decisions for yourself. And for a lot of people who grew up in a certain type of household with certain type of caregivers, your self-trust could have been damaged, and that really can affect your ability to make decisions for yourself and make confident decisions. You might have a fear of change in general or transitions. Were you ever someone who really had a lot of anxiety when it was the first day of school, or you got a new job, or you moved, or any sort of big life transition like that? Then it only makes sense that this would be happening now, right? You may be feeling unworthy of love. You might have a history of transition anxiety that's coming back up. You might have a fear of commitment or getting hurt. Maybe that's from a past relationship or your parents' relationship. You could have a history of perfectionism, and that can go really deep too. You could have an anxious attachment style. You could have a change in identity crisis. This is just some of them, but there's so many root causes of what could actually be causing your fear of getting married. So first, you identify the root cause, and then you heal it from the bottom up, like that tree, right? And so you're okay, Gina, this sounds great. Okay, I know that I'm feeling anxious about this. I'm freaking out about getting married. I don't know if this is the right decision. Okay, I have my root cause. Now what? Well, yeah, where do I even start? And that is where I come in. Okay, I don't want you to feel like you're in this alone. This is what I do, y'all. I am here to help you, because just like I went through it, now I feel like it's my responsibility to help others through it too. It's really like what I'm passionate about and what I want to truly help you find the happiness that I was able to find for myself with my husband. Because, spoiler alert, my husband and I have now been married for 6 years, and I can honestly say they've been the best of my life. So it can absolutely work out for you because I was able to work through my engagement anxiety and make it down the aisle and have a beautiful, beautiful marriage. And I want the same for you, truly. So, what I did is I created the Engaged and Anxious Guidebook. Y'all, I literally wrote the book on engagement anxiety. So I wrote this guidebook, and in it is not only like helping you understand this type of anxiety, because I think that is really important, but I want to take that one step further. So that's what I did. I have it so that it's interactive, where it's over 40 pages of guided resources that you are going to work through in this guidebook that are going to truly help you heal from within. Okay. I've got guided prompts, exercises that are going to help you find the root cause and then start working through it. So it's really like a 2-in-1. And I wanted it to be everything I've got, just like put into this resource so that you've got everything you need in this book. All right. It's a great starting point to not only understand what's happening, but tools to start healing like today. All right. I have it digitally. I have it, you can order it on Amazon print version too, if you want to like write it out. Totally up to you. But this is literally everything I have put into one book that are all the resources and things that I did to help heal my anxiety so that I could walk into this new season of my life confidently. And honestly, like I said, it's been the best years of my life. And I can't imagine what I would have done if I would have let anxiety take that away from me. So I don't want that for you, or I don't want the anxiety to take it away from you. I want you to have the happy marriage like I have. So that is why I wrote the book on it. So I want to take you from feeling paralyzed about the decision to get married, overanalyzing every detail about your relationship, asking everyone, even strangers, for validation on your choice, making countless pro-cons lists, and scrolling through the 67th Etsy page of cake toppers, guilty, to feeling confident in your decision to get married, getting actually excited about wedding planning and making decisions, looking forward to life after the wedding, sipping on champagne on the beach in Mexico, basking in honeymoon bliss, and becoming the most confident, happy version of yourself in the process. And so I do want to take a moment to talk about confidence for a second, because this is something that I struggled with and I see a lot in my clients too and the people that I help. So, questions for you. And just take a minute and really like answer these honestly to yourself. Is anxiety holding you back from living your best life? I know it did for me for many, many years. It really stole years of my life. Could you be more confident in your relationship with not only your partner, but with your friends and family? What about your career? Do you want to feel more confident making simple decisions in your life? And who is the version of you who is living their best life? Is it that married version of you who is really confident and feels really, really good in their marriage? And is that you right now? Or are you still overanalyzing everything? Maybe every little thing that's not even about your marriage. Maybe it's about work or what to eat for dinner that night. I know these are things that I struggled with, and it can be really hard. And so I really just want to take a minute. And if you do feel this way, I feel you. And I also want to ask you, are you someone who wants to be in the driver's seat of their own life? Or are you on the passenger seat holding on for dear life, praying you'll feel better one day right now? Because I know from being in your shoes how hard this can be and how out of control your life you may feel. And once I started doing this work for my anxiety, everything changed in other aspects of my life too. And that, I think, is one of the biggest benefits of doing this inner work, is not only do you feel better in your relationship, but you feel better in your life. You just feel like you're the most confident version of yourself. So yes, this book will not only help you with relationship anxiety. It's my goal to really help you, or to be a resource that's going to help you be the most confident version of you. Because that's what it really comes down to, is feeling confident, feeling like, yep, I've got this. I'm making the right decision for me. And I don't need anyone else's validation. I don't need, anybody else's opinion. I've got this. I'm going to be happy because I deserve happiness. And I'm not going to take, being treated poorly by my friends and family or anyone else, because I'm in the driver's seat of my own life and I can take control over it. And for a lot of people who struggle with this type of anxiety, you might also struggle with that, just feeling maybe small, feeling really just not confident and like you're not in control. And I used to feel that way too. And when I started doing this work, it really opened up a lot for me, not only with my relationships with my friends and family, but with my career. And looking back now, I'm kind of almost like happy that this happened, because it forced me to do this work, which just made me the person that I am today. And the person I am today is someone that I really like and that I wouldn't imagine I could be here 8 years ago. And I want that for you too. So, y'all, I have my Engaged Anxious guidebook for you. It's $27. And like I said, you can download it instantly, or if you want to purchase it on Amazon, you can get a print copy. I really wanted to make this like super affordable for everyone, where it's just a no-brainer and you can get started right away on it. So you can start feeling better like ASAP. Because I know some of y'all, your wedding might be coming up soon. Maybe you're not engaged yet, but you just want to like stop these feelings. I mean, you shouldn't have to go one more day feeling like this. So in the guidebook, here's some more of just like the details for it. We've got exercises, resources, and tools to help you understand relationship anxiety, pinpoint the root cause of your anxiety, understand projections and why they happen. So that's like when I was so fixated on my husband's eyebrows. Transform your doubt, heal your self-trust, rewire your limiting beliefs about yourself, which is so, so powerful. I want to help you stop looking for signs from the universe. I used to do that all the time, of like, oh, if a breakup song comes on the radio next, I'm breaking it off. I'll help you work through that. We do inner child work, which is super powerful. I want to help you feel ready for marriage, really feel like you are ready for this next season. We're going to do mindset work. You're going to heal your guilt and shame, because those are the lowest vibration of emotions, and we don't have time for those. All right. We don't want you to have to feel guilt and shame. I'm going to teach you some like overall general anxiety healing modalities, which are really useful just if you suffer from like overall general anxiety. I'm going to teach teachings on meditation, inner child work, forgiveness, exercises, gratitude, practices, limiting beliefs, and so much more. So this is really like a full mindset rewiring too. And y'all, I do have a quick bonus for y'all. I have a Overanalyzing to Overjoyed program, which is basically 11 self-paced video modules that is really pairs well with the guidebook. Just kind of like gives you that extra like in-depth analysis of the guidebook. And if you purchase the guidebook, you can get it for half off. So literally only $47 extra. So keep that in mind if you just want like that extra step. And I want to get into a little bit of like, okay, Gina, so I start doing this work, I read the book. What if I realize I need to leave my partner? What if I find out things I don't even know about myself? And what if it doesn't work and I still feel anxious? And I totally get this, because if you're here, odds are you're an anxious person, and I'm an anxious person, or I used to be, and I understand that mindset. So, what I want to tell you is this: what if you don't work through this? Okay. What if instead of looking at like, oh my gosh, what if I uncover all this stuff? Like, what's the opposite? What if you don't? This cycle may repeat. Say you break up with your partner. If you don't heal from within, this cycle is going to repeat with every partner in the future. Okay. If you don't work through this, you might spend the rest of your engagement miserable, and nobody wants that. I want you to enjoy this season. Enjoy all the fun things that come with getting married. And I mean, really look at it. Can you afford to not get help at this point? What do you have to lose? It's time to put yourself first. And yes, you might uncover some things about yourself, but at the end of the day, wouldn't you rather know now why this is happening and heal it and be the better version of yourself instead of just hoping this might go away one day? Y'all, I went from where you are right now in complete freak out mode. Okay. The intrusive thoughts, the doubts, the just feeling like I was completely out of control, to this. Us on our honeymoon, just the best week of my life. I mean, truly. And the best 6 years of my life. And so I'm telling you, if I can do it, you can do it too. And all I really want for you is to be the best version of yourself, the most confident version of yourself. And that's why I became a relationship anxiety coach. I didn't, plan on doing this. It just happened where I really felt the need, where because I went through this, I felt the need to help others get through this too, because I almost threw my amazing life away. I almost threw it away because my anxiety almost stole it away from me. And I can't imagine what would have happened if I would have been like, I can't deal with this anxiety. I just need to call off my wedding so my anxiety stops. Because I almost did that. And I would have thrown away my amazing life. And so I want to help you so that you don't feel that same way and that you can get ahead of it, because I wish I would have known what I know now a lot sooner. And I wish there was someone that was talking to me just like this, saying it's going to be okay and you can work through this, because it's possible for you. And I am so blessed because I have been able to help so many other men and women, both alike, through their anxiety as well. And that has been the biggest blessing for me. So if I can help you with that too, then my work here is done. And so that's what I do, y'all. I truly want to help you. And I, again, am just so beyond grateful I worked through my anxiety instead of giving up, because I would have missed out. And this is right when we got engaged. We did an anniversary photo shoot there. Some of my favorite pictures. So I'm going to leave you with this. You can get through this anxiety and have a happy marriage. You can feel confident about your decision. You can stop the cycle of doubt and intrusive thoughts. You can actually start feeling excited about the future instead of dreading it. And you can feel your most confident self in all the areas of your life. It is possible for you, I promise. I see you, and I'm here for you. All right, you are not alone in this. I am always here for you. Send me a DM on Instagram, send me an email if you have any questions. But in the meantime, just get started with the guidebook. Start feeling better today, okay? All right, take care.